The truth is we live in a really dark world, darker than ever before with the internet, social media, news media, politics, the rise of mental health issues, suicides, people living day in and day out miserably. It's not okay. And I'll be the first to say
This is Upbeat with beatboxer, musician, speaker, and show host, Parker K.
Hey y'all, it's Parker, and Upbeat is officially back. I'm super excited about that. We got the first 3 episodes published, 3 amazing guests and interviews. These are people who are the definition of being upbeat. They have seen the worst, they've hit rock bottom, they've built 2.0 versions of themselves, and they're absolutely killing it now. So their stories will for sure have a good impact on you. So if you missed any of those 3 episodes, definitely go check them out. But first and foremost, jumping into this episode, just wanted to say thank you so much for your patience during my time away from the podcast. Upbeat started in January 2019. We uploaded episodes every Monday for over 3 years, and then for the 4th year we posted replays of like the favorite episodes, the best episodes. In all honesty though, that was just kind of my attempt at trying to keep the podcast going when times got really crazy for me. That was called the Upbeat Rewind series. But basically for the last year or so, was not really active with the podcast. Thank you so much for your support, during that time, especially to the OG listeners. Since posting some of these new episodes coming back, I've heard from you on Instagram and LinkedIn, and to see you guys getting excited about new episodes and knowing that you've been there since 2019, that is just crazy. So thank you for listening and always supporting Upbeat. And if you're new here, thank you for stepping in and giving it a chance. If you're an entrepreneur, a creator, side hustler, business owner, if you're building something greater that you're passionate about, that you feel called to, then this podcast is for you. And we'll get into strategies and tactics and stuff in every episode. Just depends on the guests and what they bring to the table. But a lot of the focus here on Upbeat is on mental health and personal development and faith and God and building ourselves into something greater now and enjoying the journey now. Too many of us are stuck, and including myself, are stuck in this mindset of, we'll be happy when we get there. The truth is we got to learn to be happy now and to embrace the journey now. And it's about the journey, right? And then also just a reminder to be upbeat by hanging on to the things that we're passionate about. It's okay if you hate your job, but at least make time for something that you love. At least make that a priority for the things that light you up in life. That's a big part of Upbeat and just keeping hope alive when things get really hard. So again, thank you. Whether you're an OG listener or you are just finding us, thank you for listening in and giving it a chance. And I hope you like it and you come back every Monday morning. The truth is we live in a really dark world. Darker than ever before with the internet, social media, news media, politics, the rise of mental health issues, suicides, people living day in and day out miserably. It's not okay. And I'll be the first to say I'm not perfect. I don't proclaim to be an expert at being upbeat or anything. I need the reminder. I struggle with depression. I struggle with getting really aggravated really quickly. I struggle finding the motivation to keep going, or success just isn't for me. I need this reminder just as anyone else would. So if what I'm building here with the podcast works for you and is helping other people too, then it makes it all worth it. And I got a lot of really big plans for Upbeat 2.0. Some of the coolest people ever are going to come on the show, share their stories with us, and just have amazing conversations, interviews, something very much so that I've missed since kind of stopping the podcast for a while. Interviews truly do have an impact, and learning from people's stories, that really does help inspire us to keep going. And no doubt, Upbeat has had a huge impact on my life personally. And I've been touched to hear some of your stories over the years, the last 4 years, of, something someone said that helped you, whether it was me or a guest. And that's the goal, right? Even if it's just one part of one episode who changed one person's trajectory for the better, right, then that's worth it. And it's no excuse, but in the spirit of full transparency, I stopped posting to Upbeat just with some really big life turns and a demanding job and something that took a lot of my focus, and pausing the podcast really sucked. It sucked. But there's something important there too, a lesson learned, and that is We all experience being down, and the only thing that we can do that's in our control is pick ourselves back up, dust ourselves off, and keep going, right? And next to that is learning the lessons that we need to from the crap, and then implementing those lessons learned. So that's what I'm trying to do. And the last 2 years, I've learned a lot of lessons and even some new skills. You know, a lot of you don't know, I've been an on-air radio DJ for country radio for 2 years. And let me tell you, I learned a lot of new things with that experience. And I learned a lot of new things with Upbeat the first time around too. So when I say that version 2.0 is going to be even better, I mean it. And I'm super thrilled to be back. As far as what's going to be different with the podcast, I already kind of covered a little bit of it, but there's just more of a focus now. I have more of a mission with mental health and personal development and faith, but also just holding on to things that we're passionate about. You know, our passions, talents, friends, families, good values, strong faith-based, level-headed, good family-centered values. We need more stuff like that in our world today. And that's going to be the base of each episode, each interview, each guest that I bring on the show. These people are going to be really good people, y'all, and people that we can trust and we can learn from and find inspiration from. But yeah, I just wanted to give this quick update. If you made it this far into this episode, you know, thank you. Wherever you're watching or listening to this, however, please follow and subscribe. And if you feel compelled to, leave a review. That will definitely help the podcast grow. And it's really critical right now, just being real with you, because this is a comeback podcast, right? We're not starting from scratch. We're not starting on a brand new account. We're not going to get any kind of boosting or favoritism from a platform. We might actually have to try to prove to these platforms that we have what it takes. So that said, though, I am thrilled to tell you that through the break and even right now, because of all of you, Upbeat is still a top 1,000 podcast in the world for business and health and fitness, which is awesome. And a top 10,000 podcasts in the world overall. That is incredible. That makes Upbeat a top 1% podcast, even through the break and kicking off right now. And that's because of you guys listening, sharing, leaving reviews, and for your support. So thank you so much. It's going to take some work rebuilding. I'm excited for it, and I hope you are too. The next episode is going to be next Monday morning. Really exciting interview with someone who's never been on the show before, but we've been talking about it for 4 years. So this episode is awesome. His story will 100% inspire you. Until then, here's your reminder to keep it upbeat, y'all. We'll see you next week.
Subscribe at parkerkane.co.